undoubtedly, wherever you're coming from, whichever city in the world, this should be the first place that you're coming from, Liverpool. I mean, I'd say nearly all the tourism that we have in the city wouldn't be here without the Beatles.
It's aimed to promote and to keep the name of the Beatles alive and as vital today as it was in the 60s when they first hit the world.
But the Beatles did everything, they, you know, for every person, so I think that's why they deserve their own museum and their own, because they were worldwide for everyone.
You get a sense of what it was like when you've recreated the cabin as it was, and you do get a sense of what it might have been like, you know.
I saw them in '64 and '66, and I'll never forget it. So I just had to come here just to see, you know, just to see where they're from.
It's been wonderful, wonderful, really choked me at times.
Brings it all back, you know, we remember it from when it happened, but to actually see everything here, it brings it all back.
Really like the Beatles, and I hope to, you know, get some of the feeling of it's a great place, really like it.
I can sing all the songs along with them, and going round I found that I was singing along or humming along or tapping along as I walked through.
What I like about the fact is you don't just have people sort of who grew up in the 60s, you have really young kids come in who still find the Beatles music important.
And I've always been a lifelong fan of the music, you know, I mean, I'm a strong believer that, like, you know, music, I think it's probably one of the best ways you can express yourself. Grew up on the Beatles, really. I mean, I'm sort of 35, so I was born '68, I suppose, like, you know, when the White Album came out, what have you. Mum and Dad always played Beatles, you know, the old 8-track stereos in the car, so I grew up with the music.
You know, I was just listening to a tape the other day, and the music, their music, and it was from one of their first albums, the music and the harmonies, because I'm a musician, I've been playing in bands for 45 years. It still stands up today. The harmonies are great, the guitar playing is great, the drumming is still applies to today. It'll hold.
It's like with any band, it's if you hear a song and it's relevant to you and your life and it speaks to you. And I think they have such a wide category of music and catalogue of songs that pretty much everyone can find a song that they can relate to. I think that's why they're so popular.
Beatles were the best band that ever lived, and I think that's what they're always going to be. So anyone that wants to come and see the Beatles, mainly really I think John Lennon has a big influence on a lot of people worldwide, especially people from Japan. That's what they mainly come to see. But the Beatles are the best band that have ever lived, and it's just always going to be the case.
The Beatles are as much about a united expression of the words and the music, and I think that's where the appeal comes from, that it is fairly unexplainable and it just seems to tap in to a certain part of people's consciousness.
Everybody knows them, they're in your blood. My children know them, I know them, my grandchildren know them. I just think there's something, I don't know why.
I think it's a global message, which would probably sort of spread more by John Lennon and his solo career, but I think certainly as a collective group, the Beatles, I mean, that was the underlying statement, was, you know, peace, unconditional love for the world, you know, and I'm all for that.
Just the history of it, just the little contracts that Brian Epstein signed. As you say, being a musician, you know, it all means, you know, it means things to me as a musician, just to see all that. But when they started, they were just like regular local guys playing in a band. So.
continue as they always have done. I don't think their popularity has wavered much in the years. They're always going to be relevant, they're always going to be contemporary because of their songs. The songs will last forever, and I think as long as they're still popular and people still love them, then this museum will still be here, so I can't see that ever changing.